This is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, and Jerry Keyser.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report, show number 183 for Thursday, June 10th. I'm Scott Hammer. He's
I'm
Ron Miller. I pointed the right way this time.
Yes, you did.
Got to point the wrong backwards, but it looks right on this. Anyway.
Yeah, that's Scott Hammer.
It's the Hammer Down Racing Report, presented by Oakshade Raceway, and we got a lot to cover tonight. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And the first thing I noticed was there was an angry face just during our open.
Really?
Yeah, Lloyd Cass. He's angry, apparently.
Really?
Maybe we made him angry. I don't know. Yeah. He did say hi to Dave, so I don't know what's going on. If you're wondering,
maybe we were 30 seconds late. Who knows?
Yeah, we were talking before, but Jerry had an accident apparently on Sunday, a lawnmower accident, and is currently being a little drugged up right now. So he has declined to join us this evening. So he's sitting this one out. But
hopefully he'll listen, and maybe he'll even punch something in the comments.
He said he was about to fall asleep, so we'll see.
All right.
And next week, though, he'll be with us. He's back for the full show. I guess that other the iRacing thing is over with that he had to leave early for the past few weeks.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So anyway, a lot to talk about tonight, and we have a few guests coming on. We're going to be talking to Cole Macedo, of course, winner at Fremont. Almost had the win Friday night at Attica as well, and leading the AFCS points, leading Attica's points. I think he's second at Fremont too. So he's really coming on.
And a well-known name in sprint car racing. So
yeah, brother to Carson.
Yes.
Coming up, there's a bug crawling up my ceiling right now.
All right.
As long as he doesn't drop on me, we're good.
Protein.
Yes. Also coming up tonight or later this evening, I'm keeping an eye on the buggies. We're going to talk to Jamie Sullivan, who is a racer down in the Florida area. And she is going to be making her debut in a monster truck at Sandusky Speedway on Saturday. So, and Chris Mize is going to join us as well to talk about that. So I'm not even sure what to expect with all that. It's going to be interesting.
Well, anything with Chris Mize
is interesting. Yes,
going to be interesting. Absolutely.
He doesn't have an opinion about anything. Very unopinionated.
No, never willing to share those opinions either.
Coming at you live on Facebook. You're right. YouTube and Twitter. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. We'll also have the results of our Twitter poll this week. It was basically the Dirt Late Model Dream versus Ohio Sprint Speedweek. Which would you prefer? And we'll have the results to that. I think there might be like a minute left in that. Nope. Final results. I'm sorry. You can't vote anymore. It's over with. So if you didn't get to vote, too bad. Also coming up later on, your chance to win a Big D's pizza with how many? So a lot to get to. Before we get to anything, though, I want to thank Oakshade Raceway. We're the fastest meet to race. Racing every Saturday night. This Saturday night's Late Model Sports and Bombers Compacts. $14 general admission. Gates open at 4 with racing at 7 p.m. Also want to thank Freeze Frame Photos for all your racetrack photo needs, whether on the track or in Victory Lane. 24 years of memories at Oakshade, Toledo Speedway, and other local tracks. They can meet all your photo needs. Photo shoots by appointment. Give them a call, 419-476-9978. Their number scrolling down there in the scroll there. Is it just going off the screen? It'll come back, though. Trust me. Also want to thank Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, Millstream Speedway, and yeah, we'll be talking about that a little bit later too. Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, and as we mentioned, Freeze Frame and Oakshade. Before we get to anything, how about Chris Mize says he's a nice guy. He is a nice guy. He's a nice guy with a lot of opinions. I think Greg had a blast in the force. Well, of course you did. You won the Greg D trade.
Fournier Maine.
Yeah, was in one of Andy King's trucks, I believe.
Yeah.
Won his heat race in the 4-cylinder trucks, and then went on to win the feature of the Dirt Track Truck Series first visit at Oakshade Raceway. It's not that Greg has any laps at Oakshade, knows how to get around there, but yeah, he got the job done.
I thought he had a distinct advantage.
I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about some of the racing action from last weekend before we get to Cole Macedo. Byron Reed past Cole, as a matter of fact. Last corner, last lap to score his 43rd career 410 sprint victory at Attica Raceway Park on Friday night. It was his first win there since 2019. Macedo held on to finish second, with Craig Mintz finishing in third. Former Attica champion Doug Drown drove to his 29th career late model victory. Mike Boris finished second, and Devin Shields finished third there. Jamie Miller, a two-time Attica champion, charged from 8th to 3rd on the opening lap, utilizing the extreme high line, took the lead on lap 3, went on to pick up the 305 sprint feature win, and 5-time champion Paul Weaver drove from 11th to 2nd, and Mark Keegan finished 3rd. Sorry.
That was a real dominating win too by Jamie Miller.
Yeah. I think
we watched that on Attica's pay-per-view, and it was fun to watch.
Lima Land, it was in action on Friday night as well. Justin Long won the 19th annual Keyser Memorial for the Thunderstocks. Tony Anderson finished second, with Jeffrey Jessup third. Todd Sherman won the modified A main, followed by Shane O'Connor and Brandon Ordway. Dirt Track Truck Series was in action there on Friday night, the night before at Oakshade, and Riley Hayter got the Dirt Track Truck Series win over Dwayne Powell and Kevin Niddle. Kyle Simon scored the non-wing sprint feature win over Steve Irwin and Matt Westfall. Saturday night, Fremont Speedway, Cole Macedo led all 30 laps of the AFCS 410 feature there. DJ Foose ended up finishing second. Craig Mintz, another podium finish for him. Paul Weaver survived a late race caution and led all 25 laps of the AFCS 305 A main to score his first Fremont win of the year. I believe that was his 60th career victory at Fremont. He's won a few, just a couple. Seth Snyder and Matt Foose finished second and third, respectively, in the 305 feature. Jamie Miller dominated the 20-lap dirt truck feature, leading all 20 laps for his 24th career Fremont victory. And I believe he thanked you in Victory Lane for that?
He made us proud. They had a great night. And I was really pleased that they made it through tech without any issues. They've been watching that truck real carefully.
You sound surprised, Ron.
No.
Okay. All right.
No, I just surprised. Scott, I simply pointed out a few errors in their rule book, and we had a meeting of the minds, and we're fine.
Okay.
And
so everybody's on the same page there.
Yes, sir. And they like the truck. It looks good. It races well. Jamie Miller says he has a blast driving it.
Well, I'd have a blast if I won too.
And there's more of that type of truck under construction right now.
The best form of advertising for Ron Miller race cars right there. Sean Valeni finished second. Jeff Babcock finished third in that dirt truck feature at Fremont on Saturday. Oakshade Raceway. Rusty Schlenk picked up his third Oakshade feature win of the season on Saturday night, late models. Casey Noonan, our guest last week, finished second. Colin Shipley was third. Rusty Smith got his second Sportsman feature win in a row, with Josh Robertson second, Mike Jessen finishing third. As we just mentioned a little bit ago, 2015 Bomber Track champion Greg Detray won the first ever Dirt Track Truck Series event at Oakshade over Raleigh Hayter and Dwayne Powell. Colin Schilt won the Bomber A main over Gabe Mueller and Craig Dipman. Kurt Dickey won the Bomber B. And the Hammerdown Racing Report grudge match was won by who, Ron?
Look.
Did you forget?
Wait,
that bug's gone. Now I don't know where he went.
No. Yeah. Huh. No, Scott Hammer won the grudge match.
You had some brake problems, though.
And it turned out I had a right front tire going flat. So
Wow, you had all kinds of issues.
I did. The car was just plain evil.
Got the pass on the.
It was fun. I hope we can do that again next year, assuming the dirt track trucks come back. It was fun.
I talked to Jerry just a little bit before the show. And like I said, he was a little medicated, but he said he's going to borrow a bomber if we do it again. And race in a bomber. Yeah. So maybe we all get bombers and do it. Get some evenly matched cars, just do a few laps or something. I don't know if anybody would I'm sure somebody would be willing to let you borrow a car, and there's probably someone out there that
I'm sure there is someone out there.
I'm having flashbacks to the old celebrity charity races.
Oh, buddy.
I don't want to remind anybody of that. Flat Rock Speedway, three first-time feature winners happened on Saturday night. Paul Pelletier won the Outlaw Super Late Model feature, holding off Justin Schrader. Fourth generation Max Fair took advantage of a late race pileup to win the Late Model Sportsman feature. Jacob Lee held off Dennis Wisman Jr. and Greg Stude for his first win of the season in the Figure 8 feature. Sandusky Speedway was off last weekend. We'll be talking to, as we mentioned, Chris Mize from there. They got two events coming up this weekend. So making up for being off last weekend. Eldora Speedway. What's going on down there? There's nothing going on at Eldora, is there?
No, nothing that I've heard.
Okay. Kurt Dickey says you can use his car.
Oh,
Kurt's a nice guy. He was going to let me use one of his backup cars last year when.
The car that Kurt's driving, I believe, is one that we built. So, yeah, I'd love that.
All right, there you go. Well, next year,
Hammer, I want you.
That doesn't sound good. Okay, moving on. Eldora Speedway, the 27th Dirt Late Model Dream kicked off last night with Brandon Overton and Jonathan Davenport striking first in the 74 count Dirt Late Model field by scoring victories in the twin 25s, each of them with a win. Overton took the first feature win over Kyle Bronson and Chad Simpson. Davenport took the second feature win over Jimmy Owens and Jacob Hawkins. Tonight, there's going to be 6 heat races lined up from points acquired last night, a couple of B-mains, a scramble, and then the 100-lap feature for the $127,000 to win 27th annual Dirt Late Model Dream. Then they're going to do it all again tomorrow and Saturday for the 26th annual, because they're going to make up last year's. So lots going on down at Eldora.
Now, did you see...
one of our guests is down at Eldora, so that's going to be interesting.
Did you see the engine meltdown last video?
I did.
Oh, my gosh.
Was that Rice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
What happened there? The engine
From what I understand, and it's speculation, but it makes sense. It had steam coming out of it for several laps, overheating the engine.
And he was racing with Kyle Larson, I believe.
Right, for the win.
For the win, yeah.
Yeah, he was racing hard.
It was a heat race, though, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was. And steam was coming out of it. The engine overheated. And what happens when an engine overheats, some metal parts inside will start to glow. So when you shut the ignition off, those glowing metal parts take the place of the spark plugs, and no matter whether you shut the ignition off or not, the engine keeps running. And it certainly ran away with itself. They were trying to tell Rice to shut the motor off, and he already had, and people were panicking, and
it's kind of like one of the diesel engines run away or go crazy.
Correct. And exactly that's what was happening. That engine was what they call dieseling, and it just ran away.
All right, let's get through a couple more things here before we give Cole a call here. We got the World of Outlaw Morton Buildings Late Model Series action from this past weekend. Dennis Erb Jr. took his first World of Outlaw Series victory of the season Friday night at Circle City Raceway. Brandon Shepard earned the second place finish with Ryan Gustin in third. Rick Eckhart led all 40 laps to win Saturday's World of Outlaws late model feature at Plymouth Speedway. Frank Heckenass Jr. held on to finish second, and rookie Tyler Bruning crossed the line in third. World of Outlaws are off this weekend for the Dream. World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint action at Three Rivers City? The River City Speedway in North Dakota. I don't know if I have a typo or not, but they were up in North Dakota on Friday night, and that was rained out after qualifying. So that event will not be made up. Saturday night was at Granite City. David Gravel picked up the win. It was his fifth World of Outlaw Series win of the year. Donnie Schatz took second. Sheldon Hodenshield finished third. coming up next for those guys is going to be the Brunel Big Guns Bash at Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa. That's tomorrow night and Saturday, June 11th and 12th. The Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions, Tyler Courtney secured his 4th Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions victory of the season in a wire-to-wire display at Fairbury Speedway on Thursday. Rico Abreu got by Bill Baylog with just a couple laps left to finish second, and Baylog held on to finish third. Tyler Courtney made it look easy on Friday night at Wilmot Raceway, sailing from the pole to claim his 5th Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions victory of the season, second in 2 days. Courtney beat Ian Madsen to the checkered flag by more than 5 seconds. Corey Eliason finished third. Bill Baylog earned his first Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champion victory in front of a packed house Saturday night at Plymouth Dirt Track. Ian Madsen finished 6 seconds behind, and Rico Abreu rounded out the podium there. Then Baylog won again. There's a lot of all-star action. He won his second feature at Angel Park Speedway. Ian Madsen took over second with 2 laps to go for his 3rd consecutive runner-up finish, followed by Rico Abreu and Cap Henry, as a matter of fact. And next up for the All-Stars, of course, Ohio Sprint Speedweek. Tomorrow night, starting at Attica Raceway Park, then Fremont on Saturday, then Monday at Wayne County Speedway, Sharon Speedway on Tuesday, Waynesfield Raceway Park on Wednesday, Muskegon County Speedway on Thursday, Lima Land on Friday, a week from Friday, I should say, and then ending up at Portsmouth Raceway Park. That's when that series will conclude. So, how about we give Cole Macedo a call?
Did you, since Stillwell Motorsports is in the house, did you have anything on Flat Rock?
Yeah, we talked about Flat Rock.
Oh, okay. I guess I missed it. Maybe I was sleeping.
Tier 1. There was 3 first-time winners.
Yeah.
I know. I put you to sleep. It's okay. Talk about Ron Miller race cars for a second.
I'll do that.
Okay.
We had an interesting week at Ron Miller race cars, Scott. We had a drag car that we put a roll cage in, and in taking the mats out of the trunk, we found that the floor in the trunk was just completely deteriorated. So we rebuilt the trunk and put the roll cage in. Customer was absolutely thrilled. We had a bomber car come in with some pretty severe front end damage, and
you didn't have to go that much detail.
Had to build a whole front end for it.
Okay.
Hello,
Cole.
what's going on?
Hey, it's Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, Hammer Down Racing Report. How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Good.
Hey, congratulations on a super weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I wish we could have led that one more lap. We led 59 out of 60 laps. So
you let that old guy beat you.
Part of it. Yeah. I didn't let him beat me. If something wouldn't have broke, I think we could have managed to hold him off.
So Friday night at Attica, you pretty much had the race in the bag until that final lap, and you're saying you had a problem with the mag box. What was the deal with that?
Yeah, so we actually had early in the year, we had the same issue. We had a mag that we had been running mag box that we had been running all year, and then all of a sudden one night, with about 10 to go, just like this last weekend, it just I'm guessing when it gets hot, the coil wire or something, on that mag box was going bad. So it took us out of a win then. And then, this last Friday, it ended up doing the same thing. So with about 8 to go, it started laying down, and it honestly feels like the motor's about to blow up, but it just, loses power, more and more power every lap. So that's kind of why I moved down to the bottom, just to, conserve as much as I could and try to make it to the end. And I thought we were going to have them covered. I seen the white flag, and I was like, man, we're going to, obviously we had a pretty good lead, and then coming down the backstretch, I was sadly mistaken. So, I don't know. And then right after right after you hit the checkered, it all but shut off. I almost ran third, actually. Craig almost got me at the line. So, pretty devastating, but it's part of it.
Other than that, though, you're having a pretty good year. You got 2 wins at Fremont, and you got the win at Attica. Leading the points in the AFCS. You're leading the points at Attica. You're second at Fremont. What kind of grade would you give yourself so far this year?
And I don't know. I feel like we're, me and my team collectively are doing a really good job. We've all the first couple races, it took us a little bit to, it took Steven a little bit to grasp on to, how I like the car, and took me, the same way at how I need to drive his car. And I made some mistakes, and we just kept getting our car better. And I feel like we're, firing on all 8 cylinders here lately. So, it's been really good. These guys, they kind of, treat me like family. And I think that's a big part of why we're having so much success. We go to the track every week and we have fun, and I think that's the reason that, we're running good. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to give myself a grade, to say,
incomplete. Incomplete.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to be. Yeah, because I don't want it to, stop having success that we've had. So, but yeah, if we can just keep doing what we're doing, I think that, we're doing a really good job.
Sounds like a solid A to me.
So far.
Yeah.
So for our listeners that may not be familiar with you, you're from California. You came here last summer, I do believe, staying with the Linders to run sprint cars here in Ohio. It seems that a lot of young sprint car drivers are coming from California and make their name here in Ohio. Why is Ohio the place to be?
Man, I've gotten this question a lot of times, and several times in the past, I've kind of, said, I really don't know. It's not like California doesn't have stiff competition and it doesn't have good racetracks, because, obviously there's a lot of people that have come out of California that, have went on to, further on success. But lately here, I've really started to realize what the big deal is. And I think it's the Linders, you know what I mean? I just think that they put so much into their team and so much into us as drivers that, their main goal is to make us get to the next level. I think that's what makes them, do what they do. I think that they love seeing drivers, coming through their program and, mold us into, sprint car drivers and good ones to say. And as much as they might say that they're sad to let us go, I think that, Mike and Steven really, and Seth, I think that they really like the fact that, they were beneficial and helped us get to the next level. You see Carson, my brother, he went through the same deal. Craig Mintz was owning the car at that point, but Linders were working on it. And then Carson told them that, Buddy Kofoid, was the next one. And he came through here and did what he did. And, he's had, a lot of great things happen to him here lately. And now I feel like, I'm just beginning to do it. So, I think that people come to Ohio, from California to get with the Linders. I think that
That's
they
pretty
are,
cool.
I think that's the honest truth. I think if you ask Buddy and Carson the same thing, they would maybe agree, maybe not. I don't know. I just feel like they, this is one of the only teams in Ohio that puts as much effort and work into their program, to make sure that, us young, dumb kids can go out there and run these things as hard as they can. And if they wreck, they'll have another one bolted there ready for us to go. And I think that's why we have success,
Cole, those are really good points. And it can't be just that the competition is good here. There are places in Pennsylvania with the Pennsylvania Posse where there's plenty of competition.
But they don't have the Linders in Pennsylvania.
I think our area in general has a warm family type feeling to it.
No, yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm sure there's other teams in Pennsylvania. I've never been there yet, so I'm sure there's other teams everywhere. You know what I mean? But if you're coming to Ohio, in my opinion, I don't think that you're coming here just to, you are coming here for the racing too, because you can race. The thing about Ohio is you can race, anywhere from, we can race 5 minutes to Fremont, or, you drive 2.5 hours and you can hit, 9, 10 racetracks. You can
Absolutely.
race. I think that's the biggest reason, in California, we can race a lot too. We can do, between 360 and 410, you can do 70 shows, but, for the average team, you're driving 5 to 6 hours. Like I know that I raced for Charlton's, and most of our drives were 3 to 5 hours, and that's tough to do. You know what I mean? So there's several times throughout the year that we're like, man, that's a 5 hour drive. We didn't have a good night last night. Let's just take this night off. Where here it's really easy to race every single night. Twice a weekend, sometimes 3 times a weekend. So yeah, I would say that that's big. That you come to Ohio and you can, and Pennsylvania is the same way. You know what I mean? They have their weekly racing is huge. They have huge car counts every night. You're racing against good competition, and you can stay fresh in the seat. And where like California, especially last year, I mean, I think they only got like 30 races total in. You know what I mean? So with the whole COVID deal, but where we got 50 to 60. And it was like COVID wasn't even a thing here. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's a big reason.
Okay. Now you talked about your brother, Carson. I'm assuming that you two have raced against each other at some point. Have you ever beat your brother?
I have a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a whole lot, but there's a couple times that will always stick in my memory that I got that guy. So.
Does he have an excuse as to why that happened?
He always says either his car wasn't good or
the mag box was malfunctioning.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the same thing, if I was older brother. So. But nah, he's got 4 years on me, so I think that he's well above and beyond of what I am. But I think that I'm slowly creeping up there and getting better and better. So hopefully here in the next couple of years, I can be racing with him every night, and that's more chances to beat him. So
sure.
But yeah, I haven't beat him a whole lot. I'd say, probably a handful of times. That's it. But we also don't race very much together.
Yeah.
Most of my career, I was either running a 360 while he was running a 410 in California, or, he was gone running the 3G or here with the Linders, or, you know what I mean? So the only time I get to run with him now is an outlaw show. And, I've only ran like 15 total outlaw shows in my career. So
I think you got a lot more in your future coming up.
Yeah. I hope so.
Cole, are there any other Macedos that we need to keep an eye on in the pipeline?
No, there's not any more Macedos.
Oh, okay.
Not yet, at least.
No. I don't think that there will be anytime soon, unless Carson's getting ready to have some, but I doubt that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, in the family, we have, I have little cousins that race, that kind of grew up as, they lived right next to us my whole life. So, Gage Garcia, he lives in California, back where I lived, right next to my house. Actually, we all live on the same property. So he grew up racing micros and stuff. He still is right now. He actually just won last weekend. He's another one that I think that is going to come up through and do really well, and hopefully keep the family going strong. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Let's talk Speed Week. That's coming up, starting tomorrow night. What are you doing to prepare for? This is your second time you're going to be doing the Ohio Sprint Speedweek, right?
Yep.
Okay. So what do you got going on to prepare?
Man, I just we're actually I almost forgot about the podcast because we were, stocking the trailer with, tires and, we're racing, 6 or 7 days. I can't remember what it was or what it is, but, it's a lot of racing and, you got to be prepared. So, when you race Attica and Fremont every night, you can have one or two spare front wings and top wings and, and you'll be plenty of fine. But with this deal, we're going to be gone for 4 to 5 days. I think we come back, the first 3 days or whatever it is. And then, the final 4 days, I think it is, we're going to be gone. So we're not going to be able to come back and get more parts and stuff. So we're just stocking the trailer with, extra towels and waters and extra tires, that you don't usually bring. We built another front wing just to have that as a spare. Just making sure that we're, if we haven't had very many bad weekends yet, but if we do, we're just going to make sure that we're prepared and, we can keep fresh parts on the car and that way we can have continued success.
So did you learn anything from last year's Speed Week for that you can take with you and bring with you for this year?
I didn't run the full Speed Week last year. I think I ran, about 3/4 of it. But, I think that, this not just Speed Week, but this whole year, I think that I've learned something here in the last, 10, 15 races this year. I think that, to just not, you always want to give these things 110%. They work better when you drive them harder. But, these guys have had my car really close every single time every single race this year. So it's really let me, work on myself as a driver. And I feel like lately I've been, starting out the race, if I'm starting in a decent spot, I can start out the race and my car's good enough that, I can just give it, 80, 90% at the beginning of the race. And, if I'm leading and no one's showing me a nose, I can run 80, 90% and that's fine. I'm not going to wreck the car. Where
competition doesn't want to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, I feel like my 80, 90% is really hard. You know what I mean? When I feel like when I'm giving 110%, it's, running it on the ragged edge, which is good at some points, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm a really aggressive driver. So, I say 80, 90%. Other people probably think it's 110. You know what I mean? I'm still running this thing, almost wide open. It's just making better decisions realistically. So yeah, I mean, I just think that just keep myself composed and run smart, clean laps and my car's good enough that I think that we can win.
Now, Stephanie,
Cole, just an FYI. I think Stephanie will be real happy if you don't need that spare top wing.
Yeah, I think that everybody will on a team.
I think speaking of Stephanie, and there's been a lot of coverage about this. She's getting donations for the teams during Speed Week, and actually one of our Thomas Cole wanted to know if you have any room left in the trailer for all the donations that Stephanie has gotten. Tell us about the donation drive that she's got going on there.
Yeah, so last year, I guess she's done this, in the years prior. Last year with the whole COVID deal and not having fans and whatnot, and just money was a little tighter last year. They just didn't do this, so I had never seen it yet. So this year, I mean, obviously this is the biggest year that she's had, but they had to borrow an enclosed trailer from Ray Brooks, our team owner. It's not humongous, but it's like a 20-foot trailer, and she got that thing almost full already. It's honestly overwhelming. It started off as like, man, this is cool. We got, a bunch of water and some snacks and stuff like that. Like, that's awesome, that people are contributing. And, it turned into, 15 cans of brake clean and WD-40 and batteries. And man, I think she's cleaned out Walmart once or twice already. So
I saw quarters
at least
for the car washes.
Yeah, quarters, and Rich Farmer came over and gave quarters, and somebody else gave quarters, and I think in the last 2 days she's gotten like $2,000 just in money to go down and shop and get whatever she thinks that the teams would need, so on top of all the other people that just called up Walmart and said, hey, I need to order this, and Stephanie Linder's going to go pick it up, so man, there's a lot of money that people have contributed and helped out with, and Stephanie's got a big heart for sure. The last week, it's been a full-time job just going to Walmart and back and loading the house. They have a front room. I'm sure you'll see it. She's been taking some videos and stuff for Flow Racing. But man, our front room of the house is completely full of, and like the waters are outside. So the front room's
you're not going to have any place to stay.
Oh yeah. Pretty soon they're going to take over my room too. So, luckily we had stuff buttoned up on the race car and stuff, pretty early in the week. And so we could help her out a little bit and have more room in the shop and whatnot. But, like I said, Stephanie, she's got a big heart because this is a lot more work than I think that she anticipated. But she's been working every day, all day, and night, on this thing and taking phone calls from random people and going to the bank and getting money from people. And, it's just, she's been working really hard on this thing. And I think that all the drivers and teams at the Speedweek, are going to be really excited with all that she's going to, do for everybody. So,
all right, cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We gotta get going here, but I do have one last question for you. What's your long-term plan? How long are you going to stay with the Linders here in Ohio? Is it just going to be the rest of the season? And what's the plans for next season?
I don't know. I hope that I can stay with them as long as I can. But I also would like to get to the next level. You know what I mean? So, hopefully one day I can run with the Outlaws are my main goal. So, but I know that there's stepping stones before that, and running with the All-Stars and whatnot, and running on a full national schedule. So, I would love to have an All-Star ride once I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready yet. I think that getting through this whole year with them is going to be big. But yeah, to be honest, I don't know that question, that answer yet. I'm having a lot of fun here racing for these guys, and I think they're having fun racing with me. So, if we were to do it, if I wasn't to find a national ride, I would love to do this thing again next year. It would make me more than happy. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, Ron can tell you what happens with our guests usually next time they go out racing.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's got a whole week's worth of racing. Scott, can we?
Oh, yeah. We can apply it to the whole week. Why not?
All right, fine. Every one of our guests, almost without exception, when they've been on the show, goes on to win the next race. So since your next race is really a series, we're going to expect you to dominate.
Our winners go on to win their next race. So let's go win the next week's worth.
That's it.
Yep. There's no excuse. It means I got to do it.
There you go.
You've used some
get her done.
All right, Cole.
Yeah.
Good luck. We appreciate the time, and good luck on Ohio Sprint Speedweek and the rest of your season there with your championships that you're going for.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me on the show. It's pretty cool.
All right. Maybe we'll have you on later
in the season so far.
Once you win the championships, we'll have you on this fall. How's that?
Cool. Hopefully I'll be back on here then.
All right. So, good luck, Cole.
All right. We'll see you.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go. Cole Macedo there. And I believe our next guest is now calling in. One right after the other. Let's see. Hi.
Hello?
Is this Jamie?
Yeah, this is her.
Hi. Hold on. let me bring Chris in here. You're on the air, so we just hung up with Cole. It sounds quiet. You're down at Eldor at the Dream, right?
Yeah, I'm at the Dream. I'm actually outside the track. They haven't started anything yet. They're going to start national anthem here soon, but
All right. Well, we'll try and be quick. On the phone with us, Jamie Sullivan. You're a racer down in the Florida area. What pro trucks, late model? You've done a little bit of everything from what I read, and you're going to try something new at Sandusky Speedway this week. And I'll let you and Chris. Chris is on here too now. You guys go ahead and tell us what's going on.
Well, Jamie, go ahead. We brought in the monster trucks. Raising Cane and Ice Cream Man. Something happened with the Ice Cream Man's body didn't come in, so we got Torque coming. But they approached us and said, we got a young lady, her first time out, and well, she should be on, but she's on the phone. Jamie, go ahead and tell them how this all took place.
yeah, so I've been racing for about 11 years. I started in go-karts at 9, stock cars at 11, and then I went into pro trucks at the age of 16. And then I'm now in super late models. I ran pros a little bit last year, but now in super late models, just made my debut last week, actually. But I had a friend on the team, on Raising Cane Monster Truck team, and he let me know about the team, and I confronted them about it, and they said they were looking for a female technician and driver. So I approached them and started doing a couple shows with them, and then now they're letting me, they let me test it last year, about 8 months ago, and then they let me test it again 2 weeks ago. And so they said now that I've tested it twice, they're going to send me in a monster truck this weekend for my first show. Going to do a freestyle, so I'm pretty nervous about it, but hopefully it goes well.
Now, have you had, I'm assuming you've had some practice or some seat time in the truck, right? So it's not going to be like your first time getting in there on Saturday.
No, I've had two test sessions. So I've done a few jumps, but it's definitely going to be different going out to a show and crushing cars. So I haven't done that yet, but it's going to be interesting. Hopefully it goes well.
Now, you're also a student at UNOH?
Yeah, I go to University of Northwestern Ohio for high performance motorsports and automotive.
Okay. Did that have anything to do with this whole deal coming together?
They when I mentioned it to Raising Cane Monster Trucks, they when I mentioned I was going to University of Northwestern Ohio, they definitely took that in consideration when applying for them. So they definitely are a big fan of the school, and the school definitely teaches you how to work on these trucks. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to work on vehicles like that, like monster trucks and stuff like that.
Now, is this monster truck thing? Is this like a stepping stone to you? Maybe you want to get in the monster truck thing, or is this just kind of a little side project, and you're still going to be doing the racing thing? What are your long-term goals?
This is definitely going to be my main priority. Being on the team is pretty awesome because eventually they want to put me in the Monster Jam. So right now I'm just doing small shows until I can get to that point. But I'm definitely going to do my regular short track racing on the side as well, my super late models. But I'm definitely going to be more priority on the monster trucks and trying to get the Monster Jam and working as a technician and a driver for them.
All right. So I don't know that much about monster trucks. Chris said this is going to be a freestyle thing. Tell you or Chris, tell Ron and I what that means.
So they have 2 freestyles going on, and I'm going to be competing in one of them, which you're going to be doing jumps and crushing cars and stuff like that, making sure the fans have a big show. This is my first time doing it, obviously, so I don't really know too much about it, but I mean, you're just trying to put a show on for the fans.
I've seen some of the trucks where they'll do like nose stands or back flips and stuff like that. Is this what you're going to be doing too?
That they do that, but I haven't learned that yet. I'm supposed to go to the university for that, so right now I'm just going to be doing jumps and donuts and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. So what? Let's back up a little bit to the racing thing. Now you've run asphalt and dirt. Do you have a preference between the asphalt and dirt side? I know you're doing the asphalt stuff now, but I mean, what kind of vehicles did you race on dirt?
I actually really don't have a preference. I like both dirt and asphalt, but I ran 4-cylinders and 8-cylinders on dirt. I've ran, but those pretty much just stock cars. I've ran pro trucks and late models as well on asphalt besides the stock cars. So, I mean, I really don't have a preference. I actually just got this super late model a couple weeks ago, and I was talking to Dad about trying to get a dirt modified. So I really don't have a preference. I like running anything, and obviously you see I'm in a monster truck now, so I just take any opportunity I can.
Okay, and you're just concentrating on racing down in the Florida area, then? What's your hometown?
It's Christmas, Florida.
Christmas. It's always Christmas.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm planning on running mostly Florida, maybe going up to Tennessee for their big race, their 400 lap race, but maybe also Pensacola, Five Flags. Haven't been there for their snowball derby, so we'll see.
Okay. So this weekend, Circus of Destruction, and kind of turn things over to Chris here. Sandusky Speedway, you got two things going on. You got some racing Friday night, and then you got the Circus of Destruction on Saturday. Jamie Sullivan's going to be driving a monster truck. I believe she's not the only one that's going to be driving a monster truck, right? Will we see the nose stands and all this other stuff?
Yeah. I talked to the guy that owns Raising Cane and that today. It's kind of strange. We all know about scrap prices going up and shortages and everything. And I had a deal cut where I was getting 10 cars brought in, and I thought that's all I was gonna. That fell through last week. I was having chest pains over that, and got 10 cars from at Wilson Towing. Thank them. And then I was informed I needed a bunch of dirt. So, today I got that deal put together, and I got barrier walls that are there, and, we're going to put a couple barrier walls out so he can go up and do the, nose thing and back up. And yeah, they're going to be doing a lot of stuff. And I'm just happy, 5 years from now when Jamie's out running the monster jams on TV and everything. Yeah, she got her start, at Sandusky Speedway. And now she races too. And we're actually having a Renegade race in an Enduro that night, Saturday night. And for some reason, Scott, I don't know why, but I got a bunch of young men saying, she can drive my car. She can drive.
Have you accepted any of those offers, Jamie?
I haven't yet, but I'm willing to drive anything.
So she's willing to entertain it.
Yeah, all right. we got a few Renegades and stuff. What it was is Drew Jack from National Compact Series. You guys know Drew. Back in January, me and Drew are good friends, and we're talking. We're going to run a $1 night Friday night and 11th tomorrow night, and our $1 hot dog, $1 beer, $1 to get in. And like normal, we got 450 people already paid for through our Facebook Live, people donate. And then Drew says, hey, what if we do a EVA Destruction? We have an Enduro, monster trucks, jet truck, and me. Oh, okay. So we kind of put it together. And what happened, Fred Sibley was supposed to be coming over with the little red jet truck to do a car burn and stuff. And unfortunately, just like a lot of the computer chips and everything else, in the auto industry that's being slow getting there and everything, he has his jet apart, and he called me and says, my parts aren't going to be in until the end of June, beginning of July, so we had to scrap that portion of it. And, we threw the Renegades in for a non-points race again on Saturday night. And, I got about 12 of them going to be there. So, we got a big weekend. We're happy that Jamie's, it was just icing on the cake, to have an up and coming person. I went back, not stalking her. I went back and looked through her Facebook friend request. No. And seeing
Jamie's like, I'm not so sure about this now.
Yeah, no. Well, Tuesday nights, like I said to her, I don't care if there's 5 cars or 20 cars. Your first time out in a super late at New Smyrna Speedway, which is one of my favorite tracks, actually. I love New Smyrna Speedway.
Yep.
And you come in second, third place at New Smyrna, and you put it back in the trailer undamaged. You're doing, it's quite an accomplishment, So
what excites me is the fact that Sandusky Speedway is putting a little bit of dirt on the track. Even if it is just a little bit, I'm excited about that.
It's going in the infield, Ron. Sorry.
Well, let's wrap things up with Jamie so she can get back. Speaking of dirt, she's down at the Dream at Eldora. One quick question is will she be available for autographs?
Yes.
I think there's fireworks going off.
I'll definitely be available for autograph sessions for sure.
All right. Well, we'll let you go because go check out the Dream and go win the Renegade race and whoever let you borrow their car.
All right. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, all right.
Great
Bye,
talking
Jamie.
to you, Jamie.
Bye. Thank you.
You know, just getting off base for you got to give it to this, you know, the girl. I mean, she's up and coming, going to school, learning, you know, everything. She you know, going from a go-karts, drives super late model at New Smyrna to going after big trucks, you know, hands-on. I love it. I think it's great. And, you know, like I say, you guys know me. When they said, well, this is the first time she's going to have a show, I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, this will be great. Yeah, I'm like, you know, and like I say, all the young guys are going, hey, she can drive my car, you know, but it adds in. I mean, we've had some attrition. This has been, I'm not going to lie, it's been kind of tough getting this together because, you know, like I say, you know, we're all experiencing the shortfalls of what's in racing and in general, you know, with the stuff you can't get in where you used to get overnighted, now you can't get for 6 weeks and whatever reasons.
Exactly.
But, yeah, you know.
Tell me about it.
Right. And you know, I can be upset at the situation. I really wanted that jet truck here. I even had to go as far as getting a fireworks permit for flame and stuff like that. Had to, you know, hire a lady to come up and oversee it and everything. And am I upset? Yeah, I'm very upset that we're missing that portion of the show because I love that. I love the jet truck.
Sounds like you got enough other stuff going on, though.
Yeah, but am I upset at Fred Sibley? No, not in the slightest bit. And, you know, but we got enough stuff going on. We got, you know, candy toss for the kids, autograph session where these kids and families can come out, even with the enduro drivers, the renegade drivers. You know, enduro drivers, let's face it, they hardly ever get this. You know, they put on shows, they go out and run. People go down and meet them. They can meet the renegades. They can meet the, you know, monster truck drivers and Jamie. And you know, we got a tractor demolition derby too going on. Lawnmower tractor.
Yeah, what's up with this lawnmower demolition derby?
Listen,
are you gonna have them mow the grass too while they're doing it?
No, if you go look,
and be careful. Jerry had a lawnmower accident. That's why he's not on the show tonight.
Why he's on the show?
He probably wasn't wearing the proper safety equipment. I'm not.
Right.
I don't know the details, but
you know, a guy named Harry J. Cox, messaged me and said, "Hey, you know," and if you go watch the YouTube clips of lawnmower demo, it's actually pretty cool. So I got talking to them guys, and I said, "Hey, listen, if I get 8, 10, you know, tractors up here, I said I'll look at having a future event." And so we're going to have about 10 of them. We'll put that on and a few other things. And, you know, dog and pony. I mean, after the Enduro and the Renegade, it's dog and pony. Then we're going to do the monster truck. So this hasn't been done at Sandusky.
I was just going to ask you that. This is the first time you've done something like this, isn't it?
The monster trucks, yeah. But if you go back, I think it was 21 years ago in 2000 when Kevin Ruick was alive, we did a, you know, EVA destruction type stuff and, you know, come off pretty great, packed stands. And, you know, it hasn't been done in 21 years. And that's what I was telling Kevin back in January, the owner of the track, Kevin Jaycox. I says, we got to expand out and try some different things, you know. And I tell you this, our phone's been ringing off the hook for 2 months over this. And, you know, I just want to tell everybody out there, you know, what we got coming in had no affiliation with, you know, and I'm not ripping on anybody or anything, Scott, so you ain't got to cut me off. But they had a monster thing that went on at Terry County Fairgrounds, and we're no affiliation with that. Our admission's $20, not $55. It's $20. Our snow cones are $3 because they were $12 over there, Scott. And I was catching, I was catching. How much are your snow cones? $3. And then I found out
I miss snow cones. Oakshade used to have snow cones, and then they got rid of that.
It's a big seller, I'm telling you, and
especially when it's this warm.
Yeah, and you know, our prices are staying the same for our special events as they are our regular weekly shows. So, you know, I want people to know that. And, you know, this goes off good. We're gonna do it again next year. I've talked to Drew. And
you said Friday night is dollar night, but the first how many are already paid for?
450. You know,
so that's pretty good.
we get this. We get this. I mean, we do a live, and you know, we do our lives every Tuesday night at 7:30, and you know, it starts out one guy will say, "I'm buying the first 50. I'm buying." And then, you know, we did for this Tuesday, we did ours, and this Tuesday. And before we're done, we had 6 tickets paid for people in our drawing, to go in this week. So I really love our fans and our drivers. I know every track says, and I get that every track, oh, we got the best fans and drivers, but I really feel at Sandusky, it's coming together. It's taken a couple years, but it's coming together where the support is so great. It's humbling.
So it's Saturday night, Circus of Destruction. You got the monster trucks, the lawnmower demo derby, Power Wheels demo derby, rollover contest, Renegades.
Ooh, we hadn't talked about the rollover contest.
150 lap enduro. So you got a lot going on. Gates open at 4, racing or the events start at 7. Is that correct?
Yes, we'll start racing at 7 with, we'll do the enduro. Then we have the Renegade feature. Then we're doing a second place race with the Renegades. It's kind of neat. Drew's seen it, where when you come across the line on the 10th lap, whoever's in second place wins it, at first place. So, that might get a little interesting, but,
everybody's going to be fighting for second.
It's just a fun night. And, I tell you.
How come you should have done, the only thing I'm disappointed I don't see is you should have added in the stuff you shouldn't hit with cars.
Stuff you shouldn't. Yeah, that'd be me. They'd all hit me.
Well, that'd be worth more than the $20 admission. Then I'd pay more.
You know what I wanted to do is I wanted to get one of them big balls that you see in
the big beach balls.
Yeah, that the drivers have the enduro cars have like a soccer match.
Yeah.
Stuff, but I couldn't.
Don't they do that like in England or something?
Yeah, and I couldn't find one, and who knows what the hell I'll come up with Saturday. That's what I told Drew. Drew goes, well, yeah. I said, Drew, I'm not all there in the head on Saturdays, and you never know what I'll try to throw in just off the cuff. If there's a lot of fans there, I'm liable to, who knows, and we're giving Jeep rides Friday night. I don't know if you've seen that. We raffled off 2 Jeep rides. We got push Jeeps, hot rod Jeeps, and, people are always about 3 weeks ago, I was walking up through and Jeff Newman was going around the track, and this girl, I heard her say, man, I'd love to ride one of them Jeeps, Mom. I stopped. And I said to the mom, I said, you mind if she rides? She goes, no. So I took her down and put her in a Jeep, took her, he went around a few times, and you'd have thought I'd give the girl gold. I even held up the show a little bit, and that's what it's all about, though. If you get right down to it,
that's something like Fremont did something like that, where they give you rides in the base truck. So
if you don't put good impressions in these kids' minds, instead of just going and watching a race and go home, you got to do something for them to make it. Every week's got to be special for some way, some shape or form for these kids to keep them interested. That's our future, and that's what I'm trying to hit at. Like, we got the kids candy toss and all that stuff Saturday, and we'll have an autograph session Friday night too, and it's great. The kids love it, and I'll keep doing them. I mean, people get pissed off because I take 40 minutes to do an autograph session, I can't help that. 5%, 3% of the fans might be pissed off about it, but I got 97% and a bunch of happy kids.
Can't please everybody.
Yeah, I'll take that every day of the week. So it'll be a big weekend, and I want to thank you guys for having us on with it, and
let us know how that goes. I'm curious how things go on Saturday night.
Maybe we can have him check in next week just for a couple minutes and give us an update on how it went.
Couple minutes. I don't think we could do a couple minutes.
We
can try.
I was quiet tonight the whole time she was talking. I was quiet. That's a first, Ron. You better mark that down.
I was pretty impressed with that. Yeah.
So, guys, I really appreciate everything you guys do for the racing industry. You're a big asset to it, and I can't say enough about you. You cover every aspect of it. So, thank you.
Try our best. No problem, man. And good luck this weekend. Thanks for coming on and having Jamie on.
All right. Yeah. God bless America, guys.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah,
Bye.
Chris.
See you, buddy.
Chris Mize, race director over there at Sandusky Speedway, along with Jamie Sullivan, going to make her debut in a monster truck Saturday night. You got a cat going on, man.
He wants some camera time.
Okay, that's fine. We got the how many coming up in a little bit. I didn't forget it yet. We're not going to. We also have Ron's going to do the weekend weather pit stop because I think Ryan was off today.
Ron
Surprise! Surprise.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a Hammer Down Hotline coming up a little bit later, too. Before we get to that, some other racing results. The ARCA Menard Series, Ty Gibbs, man, that kid, he's impressive, too. He won his fourth ARCA Menard Series race in a row in dominating fashion. He's now won 5 of the 7 races he's contested in. NASCAR Camping World Series regular Austin Hill finished second. Thad Moffitt, our guest a few weeks ago, finished third. That was his highest series finish. So that was at, I believe, Mid-Ohio. Coming up next for the ARCA Menard Series is the hashtag Anywhere is Possible 200 at Pocono Raceway. That's coming up on Friday, June 25th. So they're off for a little bit here. That's going to be at 6 o'clock on June 25th on FS1. AJ Allmendinger overcame a penalty at the end of Stage 2 to win Saturday's Xfinity race at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Allmendinger's teammate Justin Haley finished second. Ty Gibbs, again, podium finish there for him, finished third. Kyle Larson, another name we never mentioned, he doesn't do anything. He put on a road racing clinic on his way to dominate the Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway Sunday afternoon in Cup Series action.
It was fun to watch that race, Scott.
Well, I watched part of it. I didn't watch all of it, but he started on the pole, was in his own area code for most of the afternoon. He swept the first 2 stages, survived multiple late race restarts to claim his 9th Cup Series victory. It's 3rd of the season. I don't know. How many wins is he going to get this year? I mean, he's got things figured out. And road courses. Yeah. And he's down at the Dream, running the Dream. This guy does everything. Chase Elliott settled for second place. Martin Truex Jr. finished third. Next up for the Cup, Series is All-Star Weekend, which is weird because usually that's the week before the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, but it's going to be at Texas this year. It's going to start with the All-Star Open on Sunday. Is that right? I guess that is Sunday, June 13th at 6 o'clock. It's going to be on a Sunday night, huh?
Yeah.
Weird. Sunday at 6 o'clock is the Open, and then after that, it's going to be the All-Star race. It'll start at 8 o'clock. Both events will be on FS1. The Xfinity Series will be in action at Texas Motor Speedway on Saturday for the Alsco Uniform 250. That'll be at 4 o'clock on FS1, and then the Truck Series in action earlier in the afternoon on Saturday for the SpeedyCash.com 200 at Texas. That'll be at 1 o'clock.
Matt Swander just checked in at Eldora. Young Money won the first heat.
Speaking of Kyle Larson. Other notes, just a couple other things here. Buddy Kofoid, who we mentioned earlier tonight, he won night number 2 of Indiana Midget Week at Bloomington Speedway after being passed by Wyndham on a lap 20 restart. Kofoid returned the favor the next time around with a deep turn 1 slider. It gave him the lead for good in 30 lapper. Wyndham settled for second. Kevin Thomas Jr. finished third. Jonathan Davenport continued his winning ways in big money late model competition, topping Saturday night's historic 100 weekend finale before a standing room only crowd at West Virginia Motor Speedway. Track coming back from the dead. That place sounds like it's a monster. Anyway, Davenport held off Greg Satterley for the victory, and Devin Moran stormed back through the field to finish in third. So, cool stuff there.
Scott, rumor has it that Chase Elliott was asked what they need to do to the car to get.
This involves an explicative, I do believe.
I was going to delete that one, but Chase Elliott was asked what they needed to do to his car, to the 9 car, to win some races, and he said apparently we need to put a late 5 on the side of it.
An effing 5
on the side of the car.
Millstream Speedway, make sure to follow them on Twitter, Facebook, or millstreamspeedway.net. We got some news about that coming up a little bit later. No racing there on Sunday, and we'll go over some details on that here in a little bit. But they are still a sponsor of the show, so all is not lost as of yet. Big D's Pizza, subs, ribs, chicken, and more in Clyde. Give them a call, 419-547-1444. You can order online at orderbigdspizza.com. And I believe they're hiring as a matter of fact, hiring drivers and cooks. And I put
Everybody's hiring.
Yeah. So stop in and apply. And of course, Ron Miller Race Cars, Lambertville, Michigan's number one racing guy.
I guess.
Race Cars, parts, safety, equipment, service, everything a racer needs. 734-856-7223. It's Ron Miller Race Cars. Little bit of racing news to get to, and included in that will be the Millstream thing. The 2021 Dirt Car Summer Nationals is just about set to begin. The 36 race season starts on Tuesday, June 15th, Brownstown Speedway in Brownstown, Indiana. Then they move on to Peoria Speedway in Illinois on Wednesday, then to Kankakee County Speedway on Thursday. So that's the first three races, that 36 race series. Going to be making a stop at Oakshade in the middle of July for the birthday race. So pretty cool. Did you hear about Haley Deegan substituting for Tony Kanaan?
No, I didn't.
In two of the Camping World SRX races, as scheduling conflicts prevent Kanaan from competing June 19th at Knoxville Raceway and July 10th at Slinger Super Speedway. So all of a sudden, Haley Deegan is now a superstar racing experienced driver. She doesn't seem old enough.
So much for it being a series for old guys.
Old people, yeah. Maybe that's why they brought her in. I don't know. I don't know if she's accomplished enough to be in that, but I mean, definitely it's a good call to bring attention to the series, which already has a decent amount of attention. And speaking of which, their first race is Saturday night. It's Stafford Motor Speedway, Stafford, Connecticut, 8:00 on CBS. So if you're supporting your local track this weekend, make sure to set your DVR to find out what that's going to be about. If nothing else, just out of curiosity, just to see what happens. Kyle Larson apologized for spitting on Jill Gregory, the GM of Spitting Wine. I should leave that part in there. He apologized for spitting wine on Jill Gregory, the GM of Sonoma Raceway. He was trying to recreate what he did in 2014 after winning a K&N race there. He was kind of spitting the wine out of his mouth after his victory. And apparently it wasn't windy back in 2014 when he did that, because the wind blew it right on it. So, yeah, hopefully he doesn't get suspended for that. Donnie Schatz's going to be running one of the NASCAR trucks in the Knoxville race. Elo Castroneves was hoping that his Indy 500 win would sway Meyershank Racing to field a car for Castroneves to drive at Detroit, the two Grand Prix races coming up this weekend. But the team is sticking with their original plan of only running 6 races with Castroneves. Instead, he will compete in Tony Stewart's All-Star Superstar Racing Experience event at Stafford on Saturday night, as opposed to racing in Detroit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he had a good backup plan, I guess. His next scheduled IndyCar race is going to be at Nashville in August. Did you hear about Jeff Gordon? He may step down from the Fox NASCAR broadcast booth after this season.
Really?
Yeah.
Too demanding?
No, I think from what I read, he wants to focus on a larger role within Hendrick Motorsports. And I'd be okay with that.
I know he hasn't divorced himself from the Hendricks operation.
No.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So back in April, Joey Logano was launched into the air at 200 miles an hour at Talladega. And of course, NASCAR has reacted to that and has instituted some new rules that'll take place now at Talladega and Daytona. After every major incident, NASCAR will unload a fleet of investigators. 2 major super speedway events still remain for the 2021 season. I think of this as like the NTSB after there's a plane crash. So after a major crash, there's going to be they're all going to swarm out there and be a bunch of flags in the ground. I don't know what kind of. I'm hoping it's not going to hold up a race or anything. But
yeah, and stuff happens, Scott.
Yeah. Officials have elected to make some other changes too. They're going to change the tapered spacer holes from 57/64ths of an inch to be reduced to 53/64ths of an inch. And additionally, the rear wicker will be removed. That was designed to slow the cars down. NASCAR expects a drop in horsepower with the spacer hole reduction to result in about 7 to 10 miles an hour less speed.
And taking the wicker off will give it a little bit more stability.
Yeah,
or
and
putting
also
it back on.
I guess so.
Yeah.
They're also going to, there was a bar, I guess, a bar on the rear was listed as optional. Bar number 5C is now required. I believe it's behind the seat. It says in Logano's crash, the roll bar above his helmet attempted to collapse. Bar 5C adds additional support to the bar that's just above the driver's helmet. So, I mean, it seems like that should be, seems like that should be mandatory.
You would think.
Yeah. And finally, before we get to our Twitter poll results here and give away some pizza and stuff, Millstream Speedway has, of course, pulled their schedule. If you had not heard by now, they were supposed to start on Sunday. Obviously, Ron and I not super excited about the news, but understandably, talking with the promoter, understand his reasons for all of that. Apparently, there's been some more capital improvements that they've uncovered that needs to be completed. And that has forced another delay in the reopening. So they decided instead of trying to keep pushing things back, they're just going to pull the schedule until they're ready to go, and then they'll put out a revised schedule. So things are on hold as of right now. And Ron says nothing.
I'm sad, but I know that Scott Warner, the promoter, really, really wants to do it right. And I respect that.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So that's where things stand at that. So make sure you follow them on Twitter or Facebook or whatever periodically. As soon as they get things where they need to be, we will let you know, and they'll let you know on their social media as well. So let's.
Dean Henry says it's raining at Eldora.
Oh, no. Well, then everybody can tune in to Hammer Down Racing Report since we're going long anyways. I wanted to be done by 8, but I got a message from Doug Dock earlier about the Jamie Sullivan thing. We already had Cole Macedo lined up. So I was like, we'll try and squeeze it all in. Why not?
We did.
Yeah. Got to thank Real Geese Silhouette Decoys. Almost forgot to mention them. The most technologically advanced goose and duck decoys ever produced, manufactured here in the U.S. Check out realgeese.com. Call 419-800-8100 and check out the hoodies available on their website as well. So time for the Twitter poll results. And the Twitter poll for this week was, which event do you prefer? The 26th and 27th Dirt Late Model Dream at Eldora Speedway, or the 2021 All-Star Circuit of Champions Ohio Sprint Speedweek? What do you think the results were, Ron?
I think it's real close to a draw.
I thought it would be too, but I think our audience may be a little skewed. And here's the results. We got 70.6 for the Dirt Late Model Dream, 29.4 for Ohio Sprint Speedweek.
Wow.
Yeah, we need to step things up for our sprint car listeners here. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. Get in on those Twitter polls. So yeah, I was kind of surprised by that too. Of course, the Dream's already started, and Ohio Sprint Speedweek doesn't start till tomorrow. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Probably not, but it's a theory. We'll go with that. So last week's how many dirt track trucks were we going to have at Lima Land, actually, on Friday nights? And the number was 17. 17 Dirt Track Truck Series trucks at Lima Land on Friday night. So our in-studio, our on-show winner was your secretary, Kathy.
Woo-hoo!
She was the lowest guess of us three. She said 28. Jeffrey Furry was our online winner. He guessed 16. So he was one off. He just one short. So congratulations to him. He's got a Big D's Pizza, another Big D's Pizza, because I believe he won a few weeks ago too. So if you would like to win a Big D's Pizza, this week's how many? We're going to do a Ohio Sprint Speed Week one, since it's the less popular between that and the Dream. How many 410 sprints will we see tomorrow night at Attica? Oh, we did do that. I thought we did combine them to both nights, didn't we?
Yeah.
I didn't. I forgot to write that down. We did. Good call, Gretchen. Well, we may have to I'll recalculate who the winner was here.
Recalculating.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for calling me out on that one. Damn it. This is why we don't change the rules in the middle of the contest, Ron. This was your idea. But anyways,
Yes,
how many?
It was a darn good idea, Scott.
How many would be the combined for that? Would we have it 14, I think?
17 and 14, 31.
31. Okay, so that would make sense why all the guesses were in the 30s then.
Yeah.
So we'll have to go back and look at that now. This week's how many? How many 410s tomorrow night at Attica Raceway Park? If you would like to participate, put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. You can do that too. And just put a number in there. You get one guess. If you guess more than once, you get the black flag. Whoever's closest will get the Big D's Pizza. So what do you got? What do you got, Ron?
Why do I have to go first?
I don't know, because you were closer, because your secretary won.
Oh, okay. Boy, 41.
I'm going to go with 40 then.
You said, there you go. You're always doing that.
Well, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Okay.
I haven't heard from the secretary, so.
Is she around?
I don't know.
She'll come up there in a little bit. So there you go. You have until, we'll say noon tomorrow to get that in. Noon on Friday. So if you're listening to us on Spotify or Google Podcasts or whatever, and you want to get in on that, hit up our Facebook page. You can find it going to hammerdownracereport.com and get in on that drawing. It's pretty easy.
That would be Friday the 11th.
That would be tomorrow. Yes.
At noon, you say?
Noon. Yes.
All right.
I'm busy. I'm looking up the numbers from last week now that I got to go back on that. Before we do that, we'll talk about the weekends of racing coming up this weekend. We have tomorrow night, a lot of things on a Friday. Most that we've had this season. Sandusky Speedway is going to kick things off with $1 night, $1 hot dogs, beer, and Pepsi products, pure stocks, renegades, beginner stocks. First 450 people that show up, your ticket's already paid for. So if you can't afford that buck, get there early. Pit gates open at 3, main gates at 4, racing at 7. And as I mentioned, general admission just $1 for that show. Lima Land Motorsports Park, the rescheduled Ron Cale Jr. Memorial is taking place. 4,000 to win for the NRA Sprint Invaders. UMP Modifieds Thunder Stocks in action. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:30. General admission $15 there at Lima Land. Attica Raceway Park kicking off Ohio Sprint Speedweek with Ohio Cat, Ohio Laborers Night. Flow Racing, All-Star Circuit of Champions in action, and the late models. So that should be a pretty good show. Gates open at 3, racing at 7:45. General admission tickets are $25, and they do have a rain date. I don't think they're going to need it, but should something happen tomorrow night, they have Sunday is open for Ohio Sprint Speed Week, so they will run Sunday minus the late models, Sunday night actually with the same times and everything, if need be. But I don't think they're going to have to exercise that. And of course, Eldora in action again. The kickoff of the 26th Dirt Late Model Dream, featuring late models, of course. They're going to have a full racing program with 10,000 win Twin 25 features. Spectator gates open at noon, racing at 8 p.m. General admission is $29 at Eldora. That's your Friday night choices. Saturday night, we've got Oakshade with the late model Sportsman, Bombers, and Compacts. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission $14. Fremont Speedway. It's night number 2 of Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Kistler Engines and Racing Products night as well, featuring the All-Star Circuit of Champions. 305 sprints also in action at Fremont. Gates open at 4, racing at 7 p.m. General admission $25 at Fremont. Flat Rock Speedway, it's going to be the Corrigan Race Fuels 400. It's going to featuring a 100-lap street stock feature, 250-lap enduro, the Bandoleros, MCR dwarf cars, and TKC go-karts. Gates open at 5 at Flat Rock Racing at 7. General admission $15 there. Sandusky Speedway. Talked about this earlier. It's a circus of destruction. Monster trucks, lawnmower demo derby, power wheels demo derby, rollover contest, renegades, 150-lap enduro. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission $20 there at Sandusky Speedway on Saturday. And then Eldora Speedway wrapping things up with the Dirt Late Model Dream, the 26th Dirt Late Model Dream. heat races, B features, and $126,000 to win. Dirt Late Model Dreams spectator gates at noon, racing at 8 o'clock, general admission $40 on Saturday. Looking ahead to Wednesday night, Waynesfield Raceway Park will be hosting night number 5 of Ohio Sprint Speedweeks, the Rick Ferkel Classic, featuring the Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions. Pit gates open at 3, general admission at 4, and racing at 7:15. That's a Wednesday night at Waynesfield Raceway Park. General admission $25. That is your races coming up for this coming weekend and into next week, as a matter of fact. And Ron Miller's got that weekend weather pit stop. That's what I meant to say.
Sure,
right?
Scott.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, the weekend is looking great, Scott. And looking ahead to the Ohio Speedweeks, we're looking really good for all week. Friday, Saturday this week, a little bit cooler, a little bit drier than what we've had, with just a very slight chance of a late afternoon shower, but I don't think it's anything that's going to interfere with the racing. We're looking at high temperatures all weekend in the mid 80s, so pretty nice there. Saturday, same thing, mid 80s, very little chance of precipitation. Looking forward to next week for Ohio Speedweeks. Temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s, really pretty comfortable. And again, very little chance of rain all week. So I think we're looking really great, and I'll give racing a green flag for the next week.
Green flag. Well, Brian would be proud. I think you did a good job there.
Whatever.
So while you were doing that, I quickly compiled our winners from last week's How Many? And we're going to have to spin a wheel here. And we're going to throw, since I said Jeffrey Free won, I'm going to throw his name on here too. He's going
Even if he looks, he's a winner in our book.
Yes. So, and just for simplicity's sake, I'm only going to put first names on in our Big D's Pizza Wheel. The eligible winners or qualifiers are, Jeffrey Free, as we mentioned, Brian Nelson, he picked 32. So did John Deere and Matt Swander. So those are the names that are on the wheel that we're going to spin and find out who's going to win that Big D's Pizza. There we go. Boom. Should we give that wheel a spin? Just say yes, Ron.
Yes. Oh, give it a spin.
There we go. This is for Big D's Pizza from last week. It's going to be...
Yes!
See, I told you. Jeffrey Free. As I mentioned the first time, we didn't even have to go through all this rigmarole. So he won Big D's Pizza for How Many? I think that's fair. It's a fair way to do it.
Well, yeah.
And Dean said I can make up the rules of however I want. So there you go. That's how I want to do it. Thanks to Dave Kemmer, our associate producer, field correspondents Matt Swander, Doug Dock. Don't forget, next week, Jerry should be with us. Hopefully he'll be recovered from his injuries. He is going to try to announce at Millstream, at Lima Land tomorrow night. And he'll probably be at Shady Bowl on Saturday too. So if you do see him, take it easy with him. He's not feeling 100% yet. We're not done. I forgot the Hammer Down hotline. Jeez.
Oh yeah. Did we have one?
Yeah, we do. It's pretty short though. So if you want to be on the show for any reason whatsoever, just call the Hammer Down hotline, 419-318-3081. That's 419-318-3081. Call anytime, day or night, and leave a message, and we'll play it back at the end of the show the following week. And just FYI, we do not have a subscription of any kind. I'm just saying. So, and this first call, you may recognize the caller's voices. Yeah.
Hey, Hammer Down Racing Report. You're my favorite show. You're supposed to say something, Ron.
Oh, well, why wouldn't it? I mean, it's everybody's favorite show. We're certainly the best podcast going.
Okay. Thanks, Hammer Down Racing Report. You guys rock.
Hello, good morning. This is Phil Daniels. I'm having trouble logging into my account. I try to reset the password, and I can't get a link. My email is email.com, and I'm still getting charged a monthly subscription, but I'm unable to log in and watch any racing. Please contact me as soon as you can. 0134 or at my email. Thank you.
Well, okay.
You know, if I was thinking, I would have wrote down his number. We could have called him back on the show. That would have been mean.
We could have pranked him.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's no subscription to the Hammer Down Racing Report. So I'm pretty sure he just had a wrong number or had us mixed up with some. We're not Flow Racing or any of these other places. And it clearly says when the phone answers that anything you say can be used on the show. So I don't know if he wasn't paying attention or what. But anyway, yeah. So give that Hammer Down hotline a call anytime. 419-318-3081. And now I think it's about time to go.
I think it is.
Hopefully it'll stop raining at Eldora for the dream. Want to thank Oakshade Raceway, again, our presenting sponsor. Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, Millstream Speedway, Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos. And I want to say that I gave them a win last week, too, thanks to you. Thank you guys for letting me win. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week, 7 o'clock, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitter. Don't forget, you can listen to us on demand anytime. If you can't tune in at 7 o'clock on a Thursday night, that's all right. Just program us into your favorite podcasting app. It'll download it automatically. You can listen to it first thing Friday morning, late Thursday night, whatever.
Middle of the night.
You can listen to it on Tuesday whatever. You can go back and listen to our back catalog. We get some interesting calls. There's some stinkers too. Just ignore the stinkers. Right?
Yeah.
Just say yeah. So get out and support your local track this weekend. We'll see you next week. It's
going to be great.
It always is.
That's it.
Good night.
Good night, all.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.